Hey everyone, this is Michael from the Round Number One YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special day. It's our 100th upload on the Round Number One YouTube channel. I'd like to thank you for coming by the channel to listen to this upload, and special thanks to all our subscribers. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, so let's get into today's show. I'm going to be talking about Vince McMahon being involved in a vehicle crash, Brooke Hogan not being invited to either the Raw or SmackDown tributes for events for her father. We're going to get into that. Also, Brooke Hogan requesting to be removed from Hulk Hogan's will. WWE partners with a new company to help fans with bad breath. And finally, the reason why AEW hasn't introduced women's tag team titles yet. So let's get into it. Now, according to TMZ and ESPN, former WWE CEO Vince McMahon is accused of causing a crash on a Connecticut highway that wrecked his Bentley and damaged two other cars. The incident occurred around 9 a.m. last Thursday, just before TMZ reported the news of Hulk Hogan's passing. McMahon was cited for reckless driving and following too closely after the crash on the Moret Parkway in Westport. According to a state police report, fortunately no one was injured. He was released on a $500 bond and ordered to appear in Stamford Superior Court on August 26, 2025. The report stated that McMahon was driving a 2024 Bentley Continental GT Speed northbound on the Parkway, also known as Route 15, when he rear-ended a 2023 BMW 430 driven by Barbara Doran. A Ford Fusion traveling in the southbound lane struck debris from the crash that had flown over the guardrail. All three drivers were wearing their seatbelts and there were no passengers in the cars. According to police, the airbag in McMahon's car deployed. However, Doran stated that the airbags in her BMW did not. Doran, age 72, from New York City, claimed she was in the right-hand lane when McMahon crashed into her vehicle. The impact sent her off the road. This is her comments. She said, and I quote, "I was driving along in the right-hand lane, and suddenly, boom, I was hit from behind and catapulted forward. You can see that the skid marks where I tried desperately to stay on the road," she said. After the crash, McMahon expressed concern for Duran's well-being. Duran says that McMahon just expressed concern, was asked her if she was okay, and Duran thanked him for his concern. Now, Post Wrestling noted that the driver of the Ford Fusion matches an online profile for a WWE digital content staffer based in Connecticut with a college start year consistent with the birth date on the incident report, assuming typical enrollment age. So background on Barbara Doran. She's actually the founder and CEO of BD8 Capital Partners. She shared her account of the accident in a public Facebook post. She stated, "I am lucky to have survived the horrific car crash on my way to catch the ferry to Martha's Vineyard last Thursday morning. Both cars were totaled. Vince McMahon hit me going 80, 90 miles per hour as I drove in the right lane of the narrow Moret Parkway, built in the 1930s. My dog and I are mostly fine, but I was lucky to have kept control of the car as I shot off the road after being catapulted over 100 yards. An unmarked state trooper had been following McMahon as he sped in and out and had just turned on his lights to pull McMahon over when the crash occurred. Both front wheels of McMahon's Bentley were sheared off, and the deployment of the airbags likely saved them from significant injury." The trooper informed Durant afterwards that McMahon swerved at the last minute and struck her vehicle's left rear. Durant noted, "If he had hit me head on, the outcome could have been very different for me," she says. Now, according to the report on ESPN.com, Duran is noted to have experienced some initial shock. She appeared to be unscathed, although she later reported a stiff neck and underwent a complete set of hospital scans and blood work. Interestingly, Hulk Hogan, who contributed significantly to McMahon's fame and fortune, passed away around the same time of the accident. Now, recently I came across some comments on wrestling news sites claiming that McMahon has been involved in previous car crashes. So after searching, I found that the incident that occurred last Thursday on July 24th, the multi-car crash on the Merritt Parkway, is the most widely reported and recent accident involving Vince McMahon. In my opinion, when I first read this report, I assumed that McMahon was being driven by a personal chauffeur, given that he was driving a Bentley. Like, in my brain, I'm like thinking, okay, he's driving a Bentley. He's probably driving a Bentley limousine, typically used by wealthy individuals. So, given McMahon's age and the recent crash, I think it might be wise for him to consider hiring a personal driver. At 79 years old, having somebody else behind the wheel could enhance his safety on the road and allow him to focus on other matters without the stress of driving. In yesterday's upload, I mentioned I'll be taking a break from discussing Hulk Hogan. What I meant was that I would pause on anything related to Hogan. However, I want to address Brooke Hogan's public statement regarding the death of her father, Hulk Hogan. I'll be presenting to you an edited version of Brooke's lengthy statement about her father. I believe this was made on her Facebook account, so you can go on her Facebook account and view the whole statement. So Brooke said, my dad's blood runs through my veins. His eyes shine through my children. Our bond has never been broken, not even in his final moments. We shared a connection deeper than words, one that spanned lifetimes. I'm so grateful to have known the real version of him, not just the one the world saw through a carefully created lens. We had a quiet, sacred bond that anyone who witnessed us together could see and feel. When he left this earth, I felt if part of my spirit left with him. I felt it before the news even reached us. Brooke goes on to mention, he also used to remind me all this is temporary and I'll always find my way back to you. I truly believe that we will find each other in every lifetime. I know he's at peace now, free from pain, and in a place as beautiful as he imagined. He often spoke about this moment with such wonder and hope, as if meeting God was the greatest championship he could ever receive. Brooke also mentioned, she says, we never had a big fight. My father and I never fought. It was a series of private calls that no one will ever hear, know, or understand. My father confided in me about the issues weighing on his heart, both personal and business related. I offered to be a lifeline in whatever capacity he needed. I told him he had my support and begged him to rest and take care of himself. He had nothing else to prove to the world or anyone. She says her husband and herself moved to Florida to be near him as he aged. She wanted to be there as much as possible. She says, we've had been through almost 25 surgeries together, and suddenly he didn't want me at the surgeries anymore. Everything started to feel covered in a thick veil. It was as if there was a force field around him that I couldn't penetrate. During the last 2 years, I had to step away to protect my heart. Her husband quietly reached out to her father without her knowledge, trying to find a safe way back in for Brooke. After her father passed, she says that she read those messages. Some answered, some ignored, but all of them broke her heart. Now on Instagram, Brooke Hogan called out people criticizing her for not attending Hulk Hogan's WWE tributes. Now, as wrestling fans know, the WWE honored Hulk, who died age 71 last Thursday, July 24th, with tributes on 3 nights. First during Friday Night SmackDown, a day after his death, then on Monday Night Raw, and finally on NXT on Tuesday. Hulk's son Nick Hogan attended Monday's show, I believe with his wife as well. But Brooke, who has been estranged from her father for 2 years, was absent. Brooke stated on her Instagram, "For those of you giving me crap about not attending my dad's tributes, WWE did not extend an invite." So, Brooke's statements about her father is deeply emotional, and it definitely reflects a complicated relationship filled with both love and pain. It's evident that she had a profound connection to her father that goes beyond what the public perceives. And this situation serves as a reminder that every family has its own story, often hidden from public view. Now, about Brooke's decision to address the controversy surrounding her absence at the WWE tribute events, it shows that she's aware of public expectations. And, it's really surprising that WWE did not extend Brooke an invite to her dad's tributes, especially considering they are giving her and the rest of the family the net proceeds from the Hulk Hogan Legacy Collection from WWE Shop. This situation makes me wonder about the dynamics at play, suggesting there may be more happening behind the scenes than we realize. Now, before we move on to other reports, I just want to clarify that Brooke did not claim that Sky, widowed to Hulk Hogan, was involved in separating a daughter from her father. However, Brooke has been estranged from her father for 2 years, which it coincides with Hulk's marriage to Sky. There's no indication that Scientology directly caused the estrangement between Hulk Hogan and his daughter Brooke. However, some internet users suggest this may be the case, given that Sky and her family are involved in Scientology. So, that's all I want to say on that for now. I definitely, in the coming days, will be talking more about this. So, moving on to the next story. WWE has partnered with a new company called Breath Death to help fans combat bad breath. Breath Death is a new brand of breath mitts launched by content creator Aiden Ross. In addition to WWE, Logan Paul and rappers like MGK, Machine Gun Kelly are also involved with the product, affiliated with the product. I'm sorry. Triple H features in an official advertisement for Breath Death. And for years, wrestlers have called out pro wrestling fans for their poor hygiene. I believe this is a great market for WWE to enter, and I wouldn't be surprised if deodorant is next on their list. And by the way, I saw the advertisement with Triple H, and it's not impressive. Triple H appears in the commercial via historical clips. He definitely needs to be brought on board to write and direct some commercials. I think Triple H and his creative team could produce some fantastic ads for this brand. So as our 100th upload comes to an end, I've decided to talk about Tony Khan. Mr. Khan seems to be unable to answer a question in a sufficient amount of time. Like typically when he's asked a question, his response can stretch to 5 minutes or more. So what I'm going to do is present the question and provide a shortened version of Tony's response. Okay? So I hope I don't get this name wrong. Adrian Fierro of Fightful.com asked AEW President Tony Khan for an update on the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. And please note, This is a shortened version of Tony's response. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the length. This guy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so remember, this is the shortened version of Tony's response. And I quote. Actually, I shouldn't even say and I quote, because this is a shortened response. Tony says, I have the belts. I've made the belts. They exist, but I'll implement them in the future. That's it. That's a summarized version. Oh my God. If you read it, this guy, like, if you took what he's, oh my God, like, damn near 3 minutes, 5 minutes just to give a simple answer that I summarized, a while ago for you guys. Okay, so that's it for today. Our 100th upload. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Special thank you to all our long-term subscribers. I'll see you next time. This is Michael. I'll see you next time.